Each young one with their respective issues at daycare now come to a turning point and change. Changes that may seem sad at first, but inevitably bring the two closer together. Persia has reached her limit of being set as an exhibit, yet never really seeing much of her parents at home. Refusal to please with no real affection or direct praise cause new behavior in Persia. Persia, it's your turn. What do you have to show us today? A supervising teacher, Miss Matron, called to Persia. She was directly called because she was the only one that had not proceeded to center her to the center for her performance, quote unquote. She looked up slowly, as if not fully understanding. She blinked at Miss Matron and looked at the room in the center of the other toddlers. Miss Matron spoke again. Show us what you can do, okay? Persia rose to her feet and ran for the middle and somersaulted just as she reached the middle, hands to the floor, rolling, and then another around, and around the middle of the circle. Her group was seated. When she was finished, she ran for her spot on the circular rug. She rolled into it with another somersault. She looked with a knowing smile, but to the adults it looked as if she was just pleased with her performance. Miss Matron looked about at the different parents, and Persia's parents, Miss Calvin, Mr. and Miss Calvin. They looked at each other, their calm demeanor a bit shaken and eyes slightly showing confusion and surprise. It was the last of the week's performance, quote unquote, and each family checked out and returned home. Miss Calvin's voice was first heard in the big empty house as they entered the front door. I just can't understand why she chose to do somersaults instead of spelling her new words or reciting a small poem, even showing everyone she could do simple addition and subtraction. Any of those. Mr. Calvin, attempting to return to his usual calm, almost indifferent air, replied, maybe she was just feeling a bit off this week, or bored with the routine. We'll ask Miss Ardent how she's been this past week and during her school week. As if on cue, Nanny Amora, as Persia called her, came around the corner of the learning wing on the first floor. This wing is where Persia was taught or trained, however you defined it, and she often slept there. She didn't like being in the quiet. That's what she heard the most when her parents were gone most of the month in their research and analysis meetings. Their work was first, and Persia was expected to someday be conjoined to part of their work. Only she continued to show she couldn't learn. Only if she continued to show that she could learn and eventually learn enough science to be of use, even if just a little, while she was yet a child. Persia, though very intelligent, wanted mommy and daddy's time. She would perform, quote unquote, and get some bragging about her success, but not directly. And no not being picked up and held and praised. Maybe an ice cream every other month with Nanny Ardent when she was present for cleaning her up and taking her potty and entertaining her after the adults discussion of her next set of lesson goals. Most often than not, they would leave to go back to the laboratory or dig site in the U.S. immediately. Persia didn't know they were only in the U.S. until she was old enough or showed enough promise to accompany them to the work at the dig sites. They hoped she would help brush off artifacts or skeletal remains with as much appreciation for history as they had. Only Persia wanted time at home with them, not just Nanny. Often she would go into a projector room, running lessons as she cried. The noises were expected to drown out her own sobs, yet Nanny Amora saw those tears. She tried to get the parents to understand she needed their time and attention, not just the nanny for success they wanted, for the success that they wanted. They had replied that she was doing an excellent job training and teaching Persia, so she was the most promising in her school, not just her class. Now, Miss Arden approached a not very happy Mr. and Miss Calvin, preparing for their comments and questions. She knew it was inevitable. She had graduated in child psychology and early education after all. She paused as she received a downcast baby Persia, as she was still an acceptable definition of the word, still a baby. She held her over her shoulder, knowing Persia would be holding back tears to shield her from unempathetic scrutiny of her emotions. Mr. and Miss Calvin nearly simultaneously asked, "How has Persia been this past weekend and week?" They said she seemed not herself this month at the finals examination, as they called it when it was talking to another educated adult. She gets all that directly from you, Miss Arden, and she gets playtime with adult guidance. She gets a few snacks and sugary drinks and snacks here and there, and an outing with you and us when she's done exceptionally above and beyond above her peers in school. Miss Arden tried not to sigh. Those are things that are also important to receive a large amount of time from parents. Stages of development are directly affected by parental support and affectionate input. Just enjoying the fact she's alive and she's your daughter. She finished and looked at their measuring gazes. They said, "We have little time, as it time even to ourselves. With probably we could arrange something where she's around us as her parents. She could take her. We could take her to our less engaging events where we aren't working on theories and hypotheses and our fellow scientists." Even Persia didn't perk up at this statement. It sounded like she would still rarely see them and then just be around them and not doing anything with them. Sorry guys, I'm still having a little trouble with my voice, so it keeps getting gravelly and I keep having to clear it. And I'm having allergies, so I'm getting a double whammy with the voice issue. And it's morning, which I told myself not to do morning, but I didn't get it all done last night to post it. Alright, next stage. Miss Arden sighed inwardly, but said, "It's a start. Meanwhile, I'll try to see if Miss Persia will push her current boundaries and try new levels of information. Maybe I could take her to local museums and galleries," though she spoke this as if this would help with little Miss Persia, and she knew it would only start bonding her to herself as nanny. She was just tired of seeing her silent tears causing an ache in her own heart on a level she was not really allowed to bond. Both parents agreed with a smile of satisfaction as if this was a great solution and went to their studies. Nanny Amora took Persia to have a small snack, as she knew the little one's spirit was broken. After some minutes, Persia turned on her lessons on the projector. Nana Mora broke protocol and stroked her head as she lay down and listened to the facts about baby animals. As Persia nearly drifted into sleep, she sang the soft song she did from her infant days to soothe her. She turned on soothing soft smells and sounds of ambient music and began to sing the names of colors. Pretty and pink are the flowers in the meadow. Bright and blue is the sky overhead. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to post the second half this week. Let's see, this is Sunday. It's supposed to be done. This is supposed to be done Saturday. So Wednesday, I'm going to post a part with Penelope, which is her future friend. Thanks for watching.